Tadi aku bawa kereta.
Alright.
Kan? Lepas tu macam baru nak keluar rumah tu, ataupun baru keluar rumah dalam 200 meter tu, aku nampak kerengga tau dalam
Kereta kau?
atas bonnet aku.
Okay.
Dia seekor je lah.
Wait, what's kerengga again?
Kerengga fire ants lah.
Like a fire ants.
Dia yang besar tu, yang warna merah tu.
The one that
fire
Takkan
ants
lah
lah.
kerengga pun nak kena Google sial.
I know.
show him the picture.
Fire ants.
Fire ants. Tapi fire ants ada yang kecil kan.
Ada.
It's on the besar punya.
Ni yang
lah.
dia besar kan.
Satu je.
Mama lah.
Dia seekor je lah dekat
Okay.
atas aku punya bonnet of my car kan. Dan aku macam terfikir macam shit, aku dah bawa dia lari daripada koloni dia sial.
Mana tahu dia the queen ke apa ke.
Tak, Queen different.
Okay. I don't know about ants, man.
That's
Not an expert.
so deep for you to think that.
Yelah, aku macam kesian
Anak dia
siapa.
macam mana nanti kan?
The ants.
Dia mesti ada keluarga kat rumah ke kan.
Mana tahu dia nak pergi cari rezeki, kau bawa dia lari.
Ataupun dia tu satu semut atau kerengga yang macam paling penting dalam koloni tu kan. Katalah dia punya Perdana Menteri ke ataupun Menteri Pertahanan ke kan. So kerengga seekor tu aku bawa daripada koloni dia dekat Ampang, dekat rumah aku tu sampai dekat Taman Tun ni. So
Dia
itulah.
berhijrah.
That's a protagonist story bro.
Tapi apa-apa pun aku nak minta maaf lah dekat kerengga satu tu yang aku dah bawa lari daripada dia punya ni lah. Dan aku ucapkan takziah kepada keluarga-keluarga dia lah. Kehilangan seorang seekor.
Let's say our prayers for the ants.
Okay, Wan. So my next guest, aku kenal dia dekat MMU Melaka.
Look, before you say anything, I want a story macam Mak Rok punya, the untold story tau.
The untold story lah.
The untold story.
Ada the untold story.
I don't want something yang it's too nice.
I don't know whether it's controversial or not lah, tapi it's something yang aku simpan dah lama lah.
Okay.
Okay, so aku jumpa ni dekat MMU Melaka dulu masa aku belajar.
Okay.
Right? I think she has a very big character.
Oh,
So
such a fine one.
dia ada this apa orang cakap tu, infectious character yang dia boleh buat semua orang happy. And aku tak pernah nampak dia tak senyum lah. Right? And then dia ni juga kau tahu the term Woot Woot?
Woot Woot.
Woot Woot. Woot Woot.
What? I mean,
Like apa ada howl, what do you want to call it? A cheer, a howl, or I don't know what it is lah. Tapi macam when you are happy you say Woot Woot.
When you're happy lah.
Kau pernah dengar tak orang buat itu kan? So I heard this Woot Woot from her the first time. And I think I don't know whether it's true or not, but I think she invented the use of Woot Woot in that context lah. So kalau kau happy je Woot Woot. Masa dulu macam aku dengar dia apa hal semuanya Woot 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 Woot.
It's like a chant lah.
It's like a chant lah macam Woot 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 Woot
Woot Woot Woot.
So maybe she popularized this Woot Woot punya usage lah. I don't know. Maybe we can ask her later.
Okay.
And I also never seen someone who loves the sea more than this person lah. I think she's a really bright woman.
Okay.
Right?
Alright.
Kau tahu tak macam bila kau tengok seorang tu macam that person is really bright and smart, you kind of like know whatever she does or he does he would be success in whatever he or she does. Right? So the same feeling that I have towards this person lah.
Oh, you're just pure
You can do
God's
anything.
creation, amazing lah.
Exactly.
It's like, bam, are you married?
So dia ni yelah, lepas belajar of course they continue in the normal corporate life. You know, she joined an oil and gas company.
Ooh.
And then one time tu tiba-tiba like mana dia ni kan. And then suddenly aku nampak dalam Instagram macam dia dekat laut je.
Okay.
Every time kat laut je. Banyak Mina ni duit nak shop nak holiday lama-lama ni kan. And now she is a diving instructor in Timor Leste. You can call her an international diving instructor. Welcome to the show, tamu tauge Fizzy.
Thank you. Mukadimah dia.
Macam mana mukadimah dia? Cun tak?
Mukadimah dia, wow. I
Wow,
macam, terharunya.
Terharu
Terharu lah.
No, seriously, Fiza. I call her Fiza actually.
Yeah.
Because most of her friends or all of her friends from MMU call her Fiza lah.
Yeah.
Actually, Fiza, memang I had this like perception towards you lah. I don't know why. Like I think you would be a great role model for my niece lah.
Oh, that's so touching. How old's your niece?
My niece is 2 years old. She lives in Sabah now.
Okay. The one yang you can't see.
Yeah.
Because of the travel restrictions. Oh my God, yeah, that's so touching.
And I think everything that you stand for, everything that you do, from what I know lah, the way she carries herself.
Gonna make me cry.
But what I'm saying is that macam, I think you would be a great role model for a lot of young people in Malaysia especially lah.
Thank you.
And that's why I push you to do the YouTube content. Because she has a personality. Macam sama lah macam Mak Rock ni kan. Mak Rock pun personality besar. Dia pun sama juga. And I think she has a lot to offer to other people in terms of educating or promoting something. Which is, in her case, is the sea and environment. Right?
Yeah.
So I told her a long time ago, macam, Fiza, you kena buat lah.
Yeah, you've been like one of the ones yang paling rajin. Every time I post something, you be like, where's your YouTube content? You have to be on YouTube, man. And I macam, okay, kejap. I kena fikir dulu. Pasal I macam nak edit pun terkial-kial. And then it gets so stressful, I leave it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just shoot anything. Just send je kat Mak.
Itulah pasal kan. But
you suruh
I
kan,
tried.
I bagi video, you edit.
Kan, you edit lah. So I started. There's like 4 videos on it now, but I'm trying to get to that point where I rajin untuk upload like once a week or something. Sekarang ni masih baru once a month.
It's okay. It's all part and parcel of creating lah. Right?
Yes, exactly.
So you will learn at this phase ni of what works for you. You know, what do you like to put out there.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
So until you find one thing yang macam okay, this thing is easy to do.
Yes.
You know, I can do it on regular basis, and it reaches out to, most importantly, it reaches out to
the audience.
The
I want.
audience
Yeah,
lah.
exactly.
You will get to that point, but I was just excited that you started lah something.
Thank you.
Right?
Well, my first one nak subscribe.
Hey, share us the link. Kita nak subscribe.
Yeah, what's the channel?
Fizzy in the Sea. That's
Fizzy in the Sea.
Fizzy in the Sea. Let me try.
Fizzy in the Sea.
Fizzy in the Sea.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a song lah.
You're gonna make a song. Okay.
Nak lagu tak for
Nak lagu?
your YouTube?
I want an oceany, Fizzy in the Sea song. Boleh.
Anyway, Fiza.
Fizzy in the Sea.
Fizzy.
Yeah. My island love story tu.
Oh, dia dah cerita dah love story dia.
I ada
Alamak.
love story.
Subscribe.
Okay, tak apa. Nanti aku tanya lagi. Anyway, Fizzy.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time I met you or not?
The first time?
Yeah.
I can't remember
You
the
can't
first
remember.
time. But it was probably...
I remember the exact moment.
Oh!
And I'm going to tell you a story about it.
Okay. Right? I'm getting ready. Takut. I'm nervous.
Okay, you
What did I
don't
do?
have to be nervous because I want to issue a public apology to you lah.
Oh my
Wow.
God. Wow.
Because of that.
Oh, this is
Okay.
something. I'm
You
so happy we're recording
You
this.
brush me. Yeah. Now I'm intrigued. Okay.
Alright. So dulu dekat MMU Melaka,
Okay.
ada this music association called
Yes,
MMU
MMUsic.
Music Association.
Because
Tengah
we
cari nama
started
lah.
as a guitarist society. I remember
Guitarist society.
Yeah, we started as a guitarist society. But masa I baru join MMU lah. You know, new joiner, tengok ada guitarist society. So sign up. Tapi ada,
Cik, kenapa gitar je kan?
lepas tu kita macam asal gitar je. Then we were looking for a name to expand it. Yes.
So they sent out an email to everyone cakap macam, okay, we are looking for a name, can you suggest a name? So aku suggested a name and they picked up the name lah basically. And then fast forward, so masa that event ke or like the audition for the event, and then I saw her, and at that time I think Muna ke Ima, it's either one of them lah. It's always the three of you lah, right? So dia tengah duduk dekat registration counter lah, nak beli tiket ke benda semua kan. And then aku punya poyo kan, aku pergi dekat diorang cakap aku yang bagi nama MMUsic ni tak boleh dapat tiket free ke?
Oh, belagak sama Mat ni. Oh.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. Imam might remember this.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
So aku rasa macam diorang mesti macam what is this asshole talking about, right?
Okay.
But I feel at that time macam I deserve.
underappreciated. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
So for that I would like to apologize. Like if you remember or Ima or Muna yang ada dekat situ yang mungkin rasa aku macam a bit asshole-ish, right?
Were you actually on the counter jaga tiket?
I think
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely she was there,
Yeah.
but with another person that always with her lah.
Yeah, we were like kita orang my best friends, I Munai Mani, kita orang macam bersemangat sikit lah time tu.
Oh,
because
diorang kalau berjalan kan, kecoh gila.
kecoh gila macam burung. Yeah, so we were like nak buat event because rasa macam ketandusan sikit. We masa tu with like nice good indie vibey
Right.
like song contest and talent
So
time.
I would say that macam kalau ada pelajar-pelajar MMU kat luar sana,
Don't be a dick like him.
don't be a dick like me.
Founder nama MMUsic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sampai sekarang kena guna.
Aku tak tahu, but I think it was like used quite
Kawal.
sometime kan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether it's still there. Kalau siapa yang ada dekat MMU tu boleh komen kat bawah sama ada nama MMUsic tu
Still
still
guna
dipakai
kita.
lagi lah.
And then we played in a band together too.
Yes.
You became my bassist.
Wow, Ama.
Aku masa tu yalah.
The cool bass.
Well,
cool bassist.
I know how to hold a bass and pick a bass,
Uh-huh.
tapi I'm not that good lah. Tapi kau tahu lah zaman muda.
Langgar je lah.
Yalah chicks lah kan. You wanna
Yeah.
be the
I'm
cool kan.
I'm the cool bass guy.
Did it
So
work?
aku
Want my
join
number?
lah.
Did you get the chicks?
I managed to
None.
Say none.
I managed to get some
Turning it back
some
on you.
eyeballs lah.
See.
But that was a good
Naughty
one. You remember the first song that we performed that?
No, what's the first song? Oh
Oh
yeah, Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World.
Oh,
Jimmy Eat World.
Yes, I love
I
it.
don't know.
Korang ni lain generation You lain bertahun
Oh,
berapa?
diorang muda.
Muda gila.
Muda girls.
Hey, you got some music education.
I mean, like, what's the song?
Jimmy Eat World.
The Sweetness.
Sweetness by Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World.
I mean, if dengar mungkin kot.
Tapi lagu tu
Maybe.
best, lagu tu sedap.
Yeah, that's a good
I'll
band.
check it out.
Did we win?
Jimmy Eat World. We won one or two. I know I won best drummer at some point.
Wow,
One or- Kena juga.
I pun menang best
Lah,
bassist
kan,
juga.
Best bassist. No, because we were quite. I mean, not to say we were great, but we were quite tight as a. I mean, we were like.
No
not
lah, at that time
messy.
my mindset is like, okay lah, I just want to be part
layan.
of the band. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you tak adalah serius sangat. And then Nazar pun macam
Yeah.
macam tu je lah.
Yeah,
They were not
exactly.
like macam serius nak jadi musician. Ada yang
Some like really
yang
wanted
band
it.
serious
Yes,
kan.
that's right,
Jadi,
yeah.
To me it's just a matter of
Yeah.
like macam feel my time and then
Main cover music je.
my cover music.
Kan? Janji shock.
Janji shock. So we want to talk about the sea ni, your love with the sea ni.
Yes.
Okay, we come back to the real subject lah.
Number one love.
So before we go to the beginning, so where are you now? I mean, are you an activist? Are you a enthusiast? Are you I don't know. Will you die at the sea? Or you know,
I would. You know what? Like I would be happy. I would consider myself like lucky if I died at sea.
right.
Even if no one can find me.
Right.
And I know it's like makes my family macam kan tarik nafas sikit lah cakap macam tu. Tapi macam I rela. I know that the sea brings risks and I spend a majority of my time there. Tapi daripada I kena ragut kat bawah jalan tepi kaki 5 kat bandar ni kan. Baik MRT shark gigit I tu.
Let's just
I lagi
all of us
rela.
die in our sleep lah.
Yalah, yang tu macam ultimate lah kan. But like you said, what am I? I mean, I'm a passionate lover of the ocean.
Okay.
That it's my number one love, if you can
Okay.
call it. I tak ada lah macam crazy activist yang I pergi, walk the streets and organize events. Not to that point because I think the past few years I'm still very involved and very kept busy by my work, which
Yep.
is I work in a dive tourism industry.
Dive
Basically.
tourism. Okay.
So kerja dengan dive resorts.
Right.
So itu full time work dia lah. So it
Right.
takes up a lot of time. But because I have the passion for the ocean, even though I tak adalah background in marine science or conservation science, my degree was in IT management. But self-taught along the way. Now I consider myself a conservationist.
Right.
So I try to use whatever conservationist.
Conservationist.
Yeah. So macam orang yang mempertengahkan menyemarakkan semangat towards conservation lah kan.
Macam apa you buat dengan music in MMU lah.
Probably
lah.
yeah. Like music's a huge love of mine, but then I think music is sustainable in a way. Tapi ocean ni macam tak ada anyone fighting. I mean ramai lah fighting for it, but I think it needs to be fought for more.
Right.
So itulah I try to be this voice to, or at least lead by example.
Yep.
To encourage people around me, siapa yang tengok. I think we take the ocean, a lot of people yang tak hidup dekat dengan laut gets very how do you say you tengok laut ni with a filter tau, you still rasa macam everything's beautiful, it's always there, it's always cantik. Misconception sikit lah. So you're not really understanding that the ocean is in big trouble, like to the point where we might not be able to even tarik balik all the wrongs we've done to it.
Right.
But banding together, we could probably potentially save it from further destruction.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to bring that awareness. So I see myself like over these years, based on my own friends and feedback, I tak adalah macam aim to be like gila, social media influencer with 1 million followers. Tak adalah. But if I have, if out of 200 people who watch my stories and 2 orang terkenan and terasa something based on what I share, and they decide to change something, I feel like it's a job that I can do.
Arwah bapa I selalu pesan dulu. Dia cakap macam it doesn't matter macam whether orang tengok ke tidak, you do your best, you do good.
Exactly.
You do good.
Yeah.
Kalau ada seorang pun yang ikut you ataupun suka music you or whatever you do, that's
you're impacting already. Yes.
That in itself is an achievement that tak ramai orang boleh buat lah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I want to bring back to the moment yang you were in Shell.
Yeah.
Masa tu kerja macam dekat syarikat oil and gas.
Yes.
And then the moment yang you macam you want to drop everything. Tell me about that.
It's, in all honesty,
is it like
it was quite instantaneous. Macam mana? I mean, obviously apa-apa kita decide ni, there's always an underlying factor slowly kan influencing you. But I literally did not plan the resignation. I woke up one day just going like, I bangun, ni tanpa backstory lah kan. I bangun tidur, I macam, I nak resign lah macam tu. Lepas tu ada one day ni lah, I just macam, okay, I think I've got 6 years in Shell. My resume looks quite good right now. I'm not married. Also at that time, it was time where my friends were getting married. I'm not married. I don't have children. I don't really have. I'm blessed enough where I don't have to support my parents. So I was like, I'm basically living for myself, working for myself. I tak ada any financial commitments.
Nothing to lose.
So I was like, if I want to make one of the biggest mistakes in my life, now's the time to do it.
Correct.
So I macam bangun tidur tu macam, yes, kambate. Kambate kudasai. So I was like,
No, just, if I may, a quick question.
Sure.
When you decided to macam stop, kan? What did your parents say about that? Two first. And then the second one, when you have decided, you know what, macam diving, being in the sea, close to the water and everything is what you really want to do. Apa pula your parents cakap lagi about that one?
I think in terms of parents lah, my parents pun still
cool.
Zaman. Well, they're fairly cool parents, but they're still
conservative sikit.
Conservative Asian, typical Asian. Like they just want the best for their children, kan?
Yep.
So I knew that.
You pelak Kak Long.
I pelak Kak Long, the eldest, but I was that dutiful Asian daughter who tried my best to get straight A's, did everything right until that corporate world. So to another determining factor, I was like, I dah check all the boxes. Now I'm an adult. I can do whatever I want, and so suka hati aku punya hidup lah kan. So I didn't tell my parents I resigned because I had to serve 3 months notice. Yeah, I have my rebellious streak lah. Rebellious tapi beradab. So I didn't tell them I resigned until my final day on payroll. So I had 3 months notice kan. I relax je, tak bagi tahu. because I didn't want anyone telling me that to change my mind or whatever.
Think about it lah. Semayang istikharah.
Exactly, all those kind of things. Like, what are you doing? And so I had dinner, and I think I phrased it. I remember this dinner funnily enough, because I phrased it to the point where I think my parents first thought, because I said, apa? Oh, don't get mad. This is something that I cannot change, and it has happened.
I'm pregnant.
I was about to say
exactly, because I knew that how I phrased it. I think the thought that was running through my dad, because the way his face dropped, cakap kan macam apa yang dia nak cakap ni. I think the sentence they thought would come out is like, I'm pregnant. So when I delivered, I resign.
You resign? I wish you were pregnant.
Kan dia macam nak cucu cepat sangat kan? You want cucu ah? So my dad did say things like, because this was also the time where there was a lot of reorg shifts and all that in oil and gas industry, so people were losing jobs or being made redundant. So to have a stable full-time permanent position in a company was like, oh, okay, why are you letting it go lah? Then I was like, it's time. I don't want to. Worst case scenario, I'll just find something else. If this is a mistake, I'll just find something else. My mom was a bit more supportive. She's always been a bit more on on this like female empowerment. My daughter knows what she's doing. Yeah, I raised you right. Yeah, she's
That's
like,
why
as long as you tak menyusahkan hidup orang.
I nak tunjuk you kat Dahlia.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I try to be like that kind of role model for my nieces juga lah. And at that time also, I was trying to be this role model for my younger cousins, because and to my aunts and uncles who's like, don't force children or your kids to. I know you mean well, but don't force them to do something that they're not passionate about, because it's going to kill them in the end. And not many will have that courage or that willingness to take a big risk and find that yes, they landed correctly. Alhamdulillah, I took a big risk. And I landed somewhere which was perfect for me. And sometimes you don't make that landing, you fall hard. But I think slowly there was, over years, they understood and sort of respect the profession I'm in, and took it as a serious profession.
Correct.
It's not just bumming around. And then since I think, and along the way, I've always made a bit more on this like conservation, community work. So it's a bit more wholesome lah. And over time, they sort of understood that it's something.
It takes
serious,
time lah. It takes time.
Yeah. I think when I first started, even friends from corporate world, after 1 year, 2 years, they thought it was a phase. Like, you coming back? Is this
But it's
over?
not.
It's like, I'm like, never.
I myself, I never thought like it was just a phase for you lah. I know I knew it. Like macam this girl is gonna get it lah.
She's gonna be
She's
Moana.
gone. She's Moana.
Oh my god, aku baru nak masuk cerita tu.
Terkejut
Pasal aku tengok Moana, memang aku teringat dia.
Yeah, I mean,
Rupa pun ada dah.
no, tadi when she was talking apa semua kan, sekejap macam macam Moana.
Yeah.
Yup, Moana.
Should I break into song? Macam tu kan?
Yeah. I'm sure you memorize all the lines in Moana.
Yeah, every time I naik boat nak nyanyi lagu tu.
This sea ni kan, macam to me lah, it's very intimidating tau. Going into the sea, going deep into the sea like you do kan. To me,
Not that deep.
how deep what's the deepest?
Official
that
answer. Official answer.
what?
I mean, recreational diving, which is what we do. Scuba diving as a
Tak nak.
40 meter
40 meter?
That's the furthest that you actually go.
on a scuba tank. Bila I dive pun, like in Timor, we get these deep walls tau. So the coral reefs ni doesn't end at 40 meters. We see it like continuously go down into the dark abyss. I selalu find myself to like, I tengok bawah macam nak turun macam tu lah. I get
I mean,
pulled.
listening to
I
it
tak
makes
payah
me-
sampai
I wanna
deep,
go.
that deep kot. Macam dekat beach tu kan, kalau you macam jalan 30 meters je, I dah tak nampak bawah tu, I dah macam okay, takut.
Have you had a traumatizing experience with the ocean before, or
Well,
anything?
one, I get seasick so easily. Number two is that I went one time with my friends to Redang to snorkel.
Okay.
So of course snorkeling ni you have to have the instructor with you apa semua lah kan.
That's the best lah. Yeah, you should have a guide if you're not powerful, strong swimmers. Or
Well, we could swim. So we decided one morning tu macam kita ada the gear lagi ni kan, tak pulang lagi ni. Jom lah kita pergi pagi tau. Masa tu pukul 8 ke pukul 7. Belum ada matahari banyak lagi.
Okay.
So kita orang decide just to go on our own, 2 orang.
Okay.
Tapi kita orang tak swim jauh pun, aku rasa dalam 100-200 meter macam tu lah paling jauh. So we were swimming apa semua kan. Lepas tu tengah-tengah swimming tu I nampak like shark.
Okay, yeah.
Shark besar ni je.
Comel je.
Comel je. Tapi aku punya menggelabah kan.
Dengan jaws lah.
Takut dia gigit tangan kau benda. Aku macam panik cakap, Mat. Aku nampak shark. 2 ekor. Kita orang punya panik.
Olympic swimmer.
Non-stop bro. 200 meters. Daripada laut tu pergi beach. So ada kawan aku tu sampai cramp lah kan. So I mean I guess for you it's nothing lah kot shark tu. Tapi macam
lagi kejar.
You kejar lagi main-main ni.
I want more. Yeah. You probably saw a black-tipped reef shark. They're very harmless. We call them like the vegetarian sharks.
Dia tak gigit pun kan?
No, hardly lah. Especially yang kecil-kecil tu, juvenile. Dia lagi lari dulu.
I'm interested to. I mean, I like to tengok lah dokumentari when you explore the sea semua macam menarik.
Yeah.
But I don't know, sea and me does not work together.
But I selalu suka cakap.
Go.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the fear, but ni lah macam when I teach my dive students semua kan, jenis yang siapa yang takut-takut tu, I always like to like guna this macam I think the fear comes because we as humans yang very land based ni lah have been removing ourselves from the ocean, like bila dah
Fear
duduk
of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown, and it's just a survival instinct.
Right.
But in all of us, all creation technically come from the ocean.
Okay.
And we are all water babies, because if you think about how we first came to be in our mother's womb, we are actually floating in the ocean. So actually being around water technically relaxes you and it's actually healthy for you, but because over time kita punya upbringing and maybe culture, kita duduk kat bandar semua, it gets pulled away tau.
And maybe movie Jaws lah, Steven Spielberg
cerita
lah.
all these movie yang terlebih-lebih kan, drama kan, so I think like I try to get people who are fearing ocean tu, I suruh dia macam try to go back to that moment where you're actually from there, you're actually from the ocean.
That's
so
a
just
good
slowly
way.
learn how to trust it. I suruh tarik dia balik. Macam
But kalau yang seasick ni ada ubat dia tak?
You kena naik boat dengan I lah Setari. I kena macam take you step by step.
Alright, Amma.
Okay.
Left foot.
Yes,
I
exactly.
I ada offer to you lah.
Okay.
So in the episode dengan Mak Rock, so dia banyak pergi buat field trip to this mangrove, hutan mangrove tau. So dia akan naik boat lah. And then me and Wan offered ourselves like macam next time you go, let us know.
Yeah, nak ikut?
Nak ikut.
Nak ikut.
So macam
Yes.
kalau you nak ikut,
jom.
Let's make a team.
Let's field trip. Jom.
Okay.
Tapi the most thing yang I'm actually macam kalau I can do it now lah, I want to join you masuk dia 40 meter tapi deeper.
You
kau
lesen tak
dive
dapat lagi.
entah.
I mean,
bawa you
let's
discover
say I
dive
have
dekat
the
swimming pool dulu lah.
let's say I have the lesson, I have everything. I would like to go there, man.
Yeah. It's See, he's in
Okay,
you're
pergi.
pulled by that.
Korang pergi, korang ambil gambar, lepas tu korang
No
send
man,
kat aku,
tak. Kau tak rasa it's macam, I mean, I'm a very curious person. Kau tak rasa curious ke?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, but why that fear stop you, man?
Keep it on my TV screen macam tu.
Aku kalau if I can overcome that motion sickness, I think I can go deep lah, seriously, because I can swim. No problem.
That's a problem with me lah. I cannot swim
Oh,
lah.
you cannot swim. Yeah, under current apa semua tu macam it's
that's
very
all that.
strong, right? So
But over time, it's experience you build, to make you
Fun,
good
man.
diver
so
to Timor Leste.
right now you are based in Timor Leste lah.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I am now.
Oh, yeah.
This is due to pandemic and so on. I'm home, but yeah, technically my job currently will be in Timor
Leste lah.
Yeah, it's just on hold for a sec.
Why Timor Leste, not Malaysia or?
I don't know, but like even when I was like getting work with this dive, I'm always like, I want to work at places where not many people know about. Masa I got the job pun, I tengok map, macam wow. I knew Timor was this young nation. Didn't know it was like touristy, because my perception of Timor was perang and still under occupation and all that, right? So like island nation, tapi I tengok map macam wow, Papua New Guinea kat sini, Raja Ampat kat sini, everything is like they are smack in the middle of where amazing diving is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But when I googled, and this was like in 2016, there was only like 2-3 photos of anyone diving there. I was like, why is no one? So when I knew that no one's talking about it, I spoke to the dive center manager then who was hiring me. I was like, you sure like there's diving? He said, yeah, it's small, we get a few Australians who come, and he says it's beautiful. So I just like, okay, I'm going. Take a risk and just go lah. There's only one way to find out, right? So yeah, and then I fell in love. My first dive there, I was already like mind blown because it's so diverse and so underexploited.
So how's the water there? Is it clear?
Super clear. It depends on where you go. Obviously, it's you get this kind of clear blue, beautiful, pristine blue waters.
Like the one you can see through.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it's like live coral. Like I've dived in Fiji. I haven't been to like Papua New Guinea, Raja Ampat semua, but I've dived in Fiji, I've dived in Oman and Malaysia punya corals again, New Zealand, but I don't think I've seen
anything
as
like
healthy coral reef system as that. It's like and at first I thought, okay, this is just my unprofessional opinion because I haven't been around the world. But then throughout my work there, I started taking and guiding these very like top scientists and top researchers or people who work for Conservation International and conservation organizations. I take them diving because there's very few dive centers, so I end up guiding them, and they come up and they're like mind blown. So there was this one scientist who popped up from the dive, and he was like, the last time I saw anything close to this was 30 years ago on the Great Barrier Reef. And even Great Barrier Reef is not like that anymore. So it's like this.
Do you know Great Barrier Reef? So Great Barrier Reef is like a stretch of coral reef on the east coast of Australia.
Great what?
Great Barrier Reef.
Aku Google.
You Google. It's like the largest living organism you can see from the space on the planet.
Wow.
So because corals are animals, in case you all tak tahu, corals are animals. So the fact that you can see colonies of animals from space is Great Barrier.
Amazing.
It's amazing, but it's dying. It's the largest living organism on
so
planet.
diorang tutup recently because there's a lot of I think bleaching happening.
Bleaching, over tourism, over commercialization, things like that impact. So macam every time I cakap pasal Timor pun, I'm torn between telling people it's amazing
so
versus
I was about to say that because you cakap tadi macam Timor Leste ni tak ada
Don't
orang
come,
pergi.
people.
Ya kan, tiba-tiba sekarang
let's
ni
cut this part. Let's just skip.
Ni rahsia.
Dalam mana-mana tempat yang pernah pergi dive lah. Diorang ada tak macam tradition that they do before they go to diving?
Not really. I think macam mana?
Macam okay, so kita sebelum
no.
dive, pasir tu sapu.
Let me rephrase the question.
Traditions in respect of the ocean.
Do any of the macam local people like enforce or tell you like macam before you go you have to do this, you want to do whatever you want, you do, tapi macam before
ni ada cerita lawak.
Okay, cerita lawak.
Ni light lah, okay. Ni I kena tipu. Ni masa awal-awal I started working kat perhentian I was like one of the first awal-awal ni, so 2010 2010 2011 lah I first started, and I was already staying there. Next door to our dive shop ni ada this huts, abai-abai
pulau lah.
Abai-abai pulau. Lepak diorang. Lepas tu abai tu cakap, Mo, ni dah mula duduk pulau ni, dah ambil berkat. Dia kata kan. Macam ambil berkat. Macam mana ambil berkat kan? Dia kata, ni dia kata sini pulau ni dia ada kuasa dia juga. Dia cakap kan, kalau nak hidup sini, nak kerja sini, nak jadi orang sini semua, you kena ambil 3 teguk air laut. Turun pantai tu ambil 3 teguk.
So
tak, dia kata masuk air laut tu dalam kita, baru kita macam accepted lah. I was like laughing it off lah. I've never been like a superstitious person tau. Like kelakar. Tak ada lah, gelak. So dia pun macam tak percaya tak apa lah. Dia kata tunggu. So okay, I kerja. Next day I pergi training tu, macam I felt like I kau gila lah. Like, as part of your dive master training, you kena buat macam rescue drill semua tau. So tengah buat tu, I had like during that day's training, I felt like it was super intense tau. Like too intense, where ada setempat, so I sendiri, it was just drills by my instructor, but I feel like I sendiri macam nak dekat drown, and my equipment wasn't working well. So tau,
everything went bad.
Everything went bad tau. This next day after lepaking with this guy. So I went to bed. When I went to bed, I was like, is it because Abel dah sebut, now I'm cursed?
And then you were macam making joke out of it.
And I was making joke. I was like, crap, I'm doomed kan. Dah lah, I want to work in this too. Shit. So the third day morning tu, I woke up early. Nobody knows. Without anyone watching, I went down to the
Gila ambil sikit.
I was like, sorry lah kalau ni syirik apa bismillah.
You actually did that.
But everything went well after that, right?
Alhamdulillah, I've been in the industry 10 years, man.
But-
So siapa nak bekerja dekat laut ni, kau kena minum air laut. Minum air laut.
Selamat lah sampai lah.
Selamat lah.
Did Abir bagi tahu you that it was just a joke?
Huh?
He
I
told
did
you?
in my ego kan. So I didn't want to
You tak
say
jumpa dia
why. I just never told him that I did it. But they always like make fun of me lah after that. Macam, oh dah sebut kan. So Abel tu like I don't see him around anymore. But this is something that I did lah, like to my embarrassment. But in a way, then I'm just going like, maybe it's true. Maybe because I just have to be one with the ocean. You know, like I have to have the ocean in me. And we're now like.
Okay, by the way, kita tak menggalakkan orang minum air
Jangan
laut.
minum air laut.
Jangan minum air laut. Mampus nanti
Yeah,
kan.
because you got hallucinations and all that. So don't. But ini cerita kelakar lah.
Cerita kelakar. The state of how Malaysia actually takes care of laut lah.
Yeah.
In particular, right? I just want to have your perspective lah on where we are in terms of conservation in Malaysia and how bad is it, or how good is it? Is it bad?
It's bad, but that's good. Okay, macam ni I think Malaysia wokeness in terms
Wokeness.
of wokeness
Yeah.
to use the word ada perkataan Melayu kan wokeness. The wokeness of
Kesedaran.
Malaysians, kesedaran lah. Ada. Yeah, that's slowly, but only if something's being made hip or popularized, or there's incentives behind it. Yeah, if there's monetary incentives, but so adalah awareness je kononnya let's go plastic free kan. Okay, tapi kita masih my personal opinion lah, yeah, not to be judgmental on people or anything, but especially my fellow countrymen, we are just looking at it at the surface value. Contoh kita buat campaign no plastic straws. I understand, so it's great, yeah, it creates awareness, but just by a restaurant saying okay I dah tak serve plastic straw, tapi under pressure customer complain bagi juga, that means you're doing it only because kena enforce, regulate. Yeah, yes, we have to have regulations, but you also need the education to be like, why are we doing this? Yeah, okay, plastic straw buang tak guna, but then bungkus tapa-tapa food semua still styrofoam. Sama lah macam now a lot of supermarkets they're not allowed to use plastic bags or just one day a month or something, and then they've now moved to what they call compostable or biodegradable plastic bags yang buat daripada, but these plastic bags are flimsier. So I noticed like big brand companies, that's international brands, they double bag. So when the customer tak bawa their own shopping bag, they give this degradable plastic bag, but because it's a bit lunyai, it's a bit lesser, they double or triple bag it. I was like, what's the point? Now you're using more resources instead of just using one great strong plastic bag.
Okay.
So it's what we term, there's a term for it, it's called greenwashing. Yeah, greenwashing is saying you're doing things that's good for the environment.
But whitewashing.
It's a bit like whitewashing lah. So greenwashing is you saying you're doing things that is good for the environment, but really not embracing the core concept of it all.
Correct.
So we are at that stage Malaysia ni. Ada inisiatif dia nak tunjuk okay all this okay.
But I want to ask you the state of the islands and the corals and bad, huh?
Yes.
I thought that we have like one of the best coral diving punya sites in the world.
We do, but compared to even 10 years ago,
right?
Yeah, because I dah lama tak kerja kat Malaysia pun, and then I came back Perhentian last year. I was like, okay, now that I'm locked down, I'll go dive in Perhentian, work in Perhentians. So obviously I have no scientific facts or basis to answer this.
You can only base it on your
my
what
own
you see
perception lah. Yes. Tapi Malaysia saja pun tak payah tengok underwater lah, atas pulau itself. I think you were following me on some of my stories, kot. I was on Perhentian, and yes, I love the fact that Perhentian has become popular with local market. Dulu dia memang kira macam mak saleh turis punya backpacker route saja tau dulu. But now it's gaining popular and gaining traction, which is great. It's boosting local economy.
Yeah.
But where are the controls? Because an island technically is an ecosystem by itself, kan? Kalau you bagi je, yes, island tu banyak demand, tapi just because hari ni 5,000 orang nak masuk, bagi je 5,000 orang masuk, kan? It's not going to be able to cope. So we've got water issues, like fresh water issues on the island. We've got trash issues. It's a small island, so tak ada, kita mana ada alam flora nak tolong bersihkan. So everything kena self-police, self-regulate. Datang pula turis-turis yang macam sebab kat bandar.
When you say tourist ni kan, macam
local Malaysian
who are
tourists.
the worst? Like macam the foreigners ke or the Malaysian tourists?
I
don't sugarcoat.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say Malaysian tourists are not doing their bit. Which is sad sebab kita semua pergi, bukan nak kata korang jahat lah kan. I think people don't go with the intention, tapi just oblivious tau, macam
it's just
tak
memang
fikir.
diorang jahat, it's okay.
No, because diorang pergi nak mengalami alam sekitar yang cantik indah tu.
Itu je nak gambar Instagram kan?
Gambar Instagram. Tapi naik-naik bukit bawa snack, bawa water bottles, buang. Tapi tak buang macam tu je. Siapa yang nak kutip? I ke? Yelah, I duduk pulau kan. Tapi but that was what I was doing, because in the end macam masa semua dah pulau dah tutup because of monsoon, I stayed on. I duduk, I tak nak balik bandar, tengah nak COVID semua kan. So I nak duduk pulau. Duduk je lah. Macam I was cleaning up. There were days where I woke up crying because I tengok my beach macam banyaknya, banyak gila sampah. What are we doing? Like why is it so hard to change habits? But it is hard to change habits.
Dia punya sedih that bukan, well, I wouldn't go as far as like macam crying. But bila I tengok sampah yang dekat the beach tu, macam I rasa tak masuk akal. Macam mana manusia, orang Malaysia ni boleh fikir yang macam diorang boleh buang macam tu je.
Yes. Tapi that's the thing. Ramai orang tak rasa it's their problem. Ramai orang tak own that problem because they feel like I buang je masuk tong sampah. Okay? So the problem now is that the things you are throwing into the trash bin is not sustainable. The thing itself does not. The plastic itself. You buang lah macam dalam plastik sampah. But what happens is, even though you dah baik gila, you campak dalam tu sampah, but it's a plastic bottle that you could have chosen another alternative that's more sustainable. Katakan plastic bottle atau styrofoam ni you buang. You rasa your job is done there, but that gets picked up by plastik alam flora ke apa ke, and then brought to recycling center, or it goes to landfills, bakar, or furnace, whatever. Along the way, some of these get, how do you say, dia macam tercicir. Garbage trucks masuk sungai ke, landfills if it's near a river, and then there's heavy rains, bags toxic, it just goes in. So all that gets flown back to the ocean. So yes, that's great that dari kita kecil kot banyak gotong royong, clean up. Clean up doesn't stop it. You have to stop at the source, which
Stop
is
using it.
And a lot of people, memang there's also like all these articles, environmentalists also say you can't really put macam mana, all this is taking distraction away from the corporations that are making plastics. And this cycles back to oil and gas tau. Because plastics is a byproduct of oil and gas new processes.
Do you know that one?
It's making money out of junk that oil and gas doesn't want. So of course it's a...
Wait. Who's making money out of the junk?
So in oil, dalam kalau kau korek oil tu, dia akan macam crude oil. Crude oil is like the rawest.
The most rawest.
The most raw form of oil lah.
Hitam
je kan. So from this hitam thing, you can refine it and get byproducts from it. So these are the byproducts from petrol ni yang we turn into plastic lah. So ni semua daripada oil ni.
Also,
so it's an industry.
That crude oil tu actually can produce more than one thing lah.
Yes. There's a lot of usage on that lah. Tapi what the conservationists trying to do is that macam try to limit the usage of oil to make these things, because it's not sustainable. Because lama-lama kau korek, of course macam, because benda tu isi bumi tau. So bila kau korek something, kat bawah tu hollow lah. Ini I punya understanding lah. So bawah tu hollow. So bila kau tarik something yang from bumi, of course dia punya structure tu maybe dah tak strong. Number one.
It's kind of fractured.
Number two is that the product that is being produced by petrol ni semua ni, dia
doesn't break down.
break down. It's not biodegradable. So macam it will stay afloat somewhere, you know. This plastic ni, it will take thousands of years.
Yeah. And even then, it just breaks down to more microplastics, like they call it microplastics. And so macam ramai lah yang cakap benda ni should be at the industry side. Yeah, but at the same time, my call to everyone is basically macam, if you can avoid a single-use plastic, avoid it, because your money is voting for the demand. You're creating a demand. So if enough people start saying to Spritzer, for example, that we refuse.
Everything.
Terasa aku.
Tell Spritzer it's not your brand, but it's how you're packaging your brand. We would rather choose Fizzy punya water company. Fizzer kan, tiba-tiba buka water company that is selling it in cans, or they're just using water filter. I bring my bottle, it's cheaper and it's more sustainable. Slowly these companies will be pressurized to still keep their market share, so they will want to shift, merge. But because there's still orang yang macam, everyone just still takes on convenience and habits. You pergi beli Starbucks dengan boba tea, you pernah bawa your own tumbler?
I don't even buy those.
Oh, alhamdulillah tak beli. Jawapan yang bagus. So, I have people who say, I care about the environment. I love the environment. I'm doing my best. I'm recycling at home. Tapi every day, lunch break, beli boba tea. And never thought to bring just a tumbler. Kan? So, you are part of the problem because you are the consumer.
Well, you are looking at the apa nama orang cakap tu apa, the
guilty party
lah.
No, it's good that you admit it, and it's not like saying you're doing bad. People are just macam mana blinded by convenience. It's convenient, of course. I admit all this is senang. Plastik gula-gula macam ni kan, gula-gula single use ni, macam belilah Fishman Friend yang koyak kertas tu. You have alternatives, and that's my issue. I macam geram kan duduk kat city kan. If I can make changes and swaps and just take 10 seconds to, rather than reach for this bottle, I go for this can. Kan? Rather plastic bottle, I go for a can. Dekat big petrol station kiosk tu kan. You're already making one vote. Contribution. That's one less plastic bottle. Kan? I jalan-jalan like tu lah. Orang selalu gelak. I pergi everywhere like 3 liter bottle of water. It's like nerd gila. Sendong. But it just means that I just refill. Kan? And it's once you explain to people.
I mean the message that macam we try to do our best, but our best at the moment is not enough.
Not good enough.
Good enough.
Just because of the sheer number of humans in developed nations. And that's a problem. Yang cause problem, isu-isu sampah kat pulau-pulau ni semua kan, plastik semua ni, is developed cities. That's where the cause is. Yang kena suffer, the ones who suffer are the ones who are living in the rural remote areas. They're not the cause of
Correct.
it.
So if you look at the bigger context of the world, negara mana yang mencemarkan dunia ni? Kalau kau ikut logik.
Paling yang buat pencemaran,
carbon emission lah. Yang paling buat pencemaran lah pada kau lah. Apa kau rasa negara mana?
Aku rasa
it's not hard lah tu.
I think it's the States and China.
Right?
States, China.
But their contribution in terms of preserving or conserving ni is small. It's not proportionate. I'm having trouble with pronunciation.
You need a coffee.
I don't know why.
You need a coffee.
It's not proportionate lah, basically. So macam Fiza cakap tadi lah, orang yang buat kesalahan ni tak affected directly, tapi yang affected directly ni orang yang hidup dekat tempat tu. Sama juga dalam in a bigger context, negara luar ni, kalau ada, I read some article somewhere macam their contribution in terms of taking care of the world ni is not proportionate to the amount of damage that they have done.
Yes.
Itu pun ketidakadilan juga. pada aku.
Tapi diorang lah paling kuat nak conserve data.
Paling lah macam nak promote lah apa nama environment.
Hypocrites.
Ini kau kena sedar juga.
Yes. Yeah.
Mak Saleh tu tak semuanya betul.
Betul. I support this.
Dengar Mat.
Diorang ni kadang-kadang poyo juga. And poyo diorang tu kadang-kadang aku rasa macam
betul.
Kau bolehlah cakap sekarang because you have like 100 of years of development. Masa dulu kau tarah tanah apa semua tu, kau pollute apa semua tu, tiba-tiba now you are there, you are a developed nation, tiba-tiba kau nak lecture kita orang pula pasal conservation.
I mean okay, honestly, in my opinion, asal aku rasa macam it's slowly turning into like yesterday
political
punya
chat.
Quite serious tak apa lah.
Adalah, I mean you're pointing out macam okay, Mat Saleh before this they keep on macam take tiba-tiba sekarang diorang nak lecture kan.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no wrong for you to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree lah.
Yeah.
Kan? But I think it's not macam mana, dia tak ngam. Dia macam betul tapi tak ngam. Sebab I think it doesn't matter where you are. Semua orang pun macam tu. I just think that way.
Ada je yang exploit kan. I mean, it's true.
It doesn't matter if you're a nation ataupun you're just a small company.
Well, my argument is like this. Like macam okay, katalah US and China ni contributes 50% of the pollution in the world. Tapi sekarang ni yang kan UN, United Nations, diorang agree like macam okay, let's everyone contribute to preserving or conserve environment, right? So when they decide to macam okay, let's chip in. Tapi dia punya chip in tu tak macam 50% yang diorang buat damage tadi. You know, diorang hanya contribute maybe like 10%, the rest macam orang lain yang kena bear. So at the moment it's unfair sebenarnya. Patutnya
but what if diorang actually try their best untuk try to kasih sama level dengan apa yang diorang dah buat. Tapi they just can't get enough people to actually join in.
They have to.
These are the superpower nations lah. But basically to make it jadi macam apa layman's terms lah kita diorang macam data indah dah, it's not their problem kind of thing. Dia terpaksa nak tunjuk that diorang together to address this climate issue that we're facing, all the conservation climate issue. But like Amar said lah, the destruction was caused by these core countries ni. But now they're making also the nations that is not guilty pay for it. For example, macam Fiji, island nation, Fiji pockets of island, and they're in trouble, like rising sea water, so they're looking for help. They have never caused any of these issues, but they're paying for it in terms of human life, and so what the country has to bear with and deal with. Macam so. Like Ahmad said lah, these powerful nations, they continue with industrialization and the fact that they're making billions and billions every year from industry. So that continues. So it's not like they're shifting gears anytime sooner. But there are like, I think you can see some better examples of Scandinavian nations. They pump the money. So I think like small nations like us, even Malaysia and all that, instead of falling into this crazy mindset of achieving development like how first world nations ni achieve development, we have to change our mindset. I think Malaysia ni antara yang sangkut tengah-tengah
itu kita punya dilema.
Kita
punya dilema is that macam we want to catch up with them.
Why? You're catching up with something that's failed.
Correct.
So
itu yang kita tak nampak. Tapi
that's nice.
That's why
that system's failing. But why are we still looking at that? Ni dah jadi political. Why are we looking at that? Why are we looking at that? Because what you should be doing is asking these nations to, I think what country is asking other nations, richer nations, to pay them to maintain their rainforests, like Costa Rica or something like that. Like you pay us, you fund us the money because
you should pay for this.
We're keeping the green lungs. So rather than kita toreh-toreh our banjaran, Pahang semua tu, kan, charge other nations around that's already screwed up their ecosystems to say like we're retaining ours because we're trying to keep the world like
sekarang
alive.
Sekarang ni sampah pun boleh kau export, kau tahu tak?
Yes.
Sampah pun macam kalau kat China, sampah yang macam diorang tak malas nak proses ataupun too costly, bagi Malaysia proses.
Lepas tu kita terima.
Tu macam kita macam duit.
I think that's the problem lah. Power, money,
corruption.
Yes, power, money, corruption. People just like wanting money.
I mean, dia mesti ada macam that I mean, I don't know who's in charge ke apa yang hire people lah. Dia mesti macam yang Diorang bangunan dah 14 tingkat. Kita lawan, kita buat 16.
Yeah. And then are the people getting any happier? Are the people getting any healthier? We've got like some of the most obese Asians in our country. So our food eating habits is not great. Our lungs and our
You
health.
ingat kenapa I pakai stripe ke bawah ni, vertical stripe ni?
Vertical stripe bagi nampak illusion of slimness. Did I mention you haven't aged a bit since I last saw you?
Fizzy, jiwa I still muda lagi.
Still muda kan? Sama. Kita sama.
I love it.
Muda. Forever young macam tu. Tak sedar diri.
Forever young, pergi mampus lah.
Pergi mampus lah. I'll get old when I'm old.
From the bottom of my heart, I doakan you macam berjaya in that
Thank
sense.
you.
Because I know that the intention is pure and it's good, and I hope macam people like you can be a model of success lah, rather
Thank
than
you.
Hey, swipe up.
Exactly.
Macam kalau korang nak
You and your swipe up, bro.
aku tak suka mentality yang nak cepat kaya tu.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Macam kaya tu sukses.
Yes. Oh God. Like Woot where? Woot. It's so
Woot
not
Woot.
Woot Woot. I did not start that Woot Woot.
Okay, where did you get that Woot Woot from?
I don't know.
No,
It's probably
the first time
Woot Woot.
memang you
Isn't
lah.
it people like everyone just go Woot Woot?
Yeah.
Woot
The
Woot.
Woot Woot clan.
Woot
Yeah.
Woot clan. Woot Woot clan.
Woot clan.
Woot
So
Woot.
I guess she started it.
Kamu tahu ni.
We're gonna play a short game.
Okay.
It's called the greatest of all time.
Okay.
Right? I know you tak pilih kasih punya lah. Binatang semua you love, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right?
I
So
love them all.
I know that by asking this question, just quite
You're gonna put me on the spot.
correct, right?
Okay.
So
let's
I'm
go.
gonna the game is greatest of all time. So in your experience in diving around the world apa semua,
Okay.
I akan sebut nama binatang tu,
Okay.
and you would decide which one is better,
Okay.
and the better one would advance to the next stage, and so on
my
and
God.
so forth.
Okay.
Right?
So it links to the next one.
Correct.
Okay. Let's go.
Not necessarily link lah, tapi macam it's
This is cool.
yeah. Okay. Ikan Nemo tu ikan apa?
It's a clownfish.
Clownfish. Okay. Clownfish versus ikan bilis.
What, in terms of eating it ke apa ni?
I
No.
never eat my friends.
Are you vegan, by the way?
Yes, I'm vegan.
Okay, that one is
Became
another
vegan
topic
like
lah.
5-6 years.
It's too long.
Too long. Another
Yeah,
whole topic.
Another whole
yes.
topic. Ikan Nemo dengan ikan bilis.
I will go with Nemo lah. I pilih Nemo.
Nemo. Ikan Nemo dengan cuttlefish. Cuttlefish dengan kuda laut.
Seahorse.
Seahorse.
Okay. Alamak, no. I suka. Okay. Seahorse.
Seahorse
Yeah.
Seahorse menarik tau sebab dia
Comel.
dia swim pun lain macam sikit. Seahorse dengan penyu.
Turtles. Tu, penyu lah.
Penyu.
Penyu
Dengan dugong.
Alamak. Tak boleh pilih.
Tak boleh pilih. You kena pilih. This is game of goat.
Which one I like better? Dugong lah.
Dugong.
Tapi I suka penyu. I feel like I dah macam betray kekasih macam tu. It's this serious. Okay, dugong.
By the way, I don't know whether you have encountered all these animals or not, tapi macam
of
you
it,
can
yes.
tell me lah whether you have seen it or not lah. Dugong and shark. Okay, when I say shark, like the great shark lah, the great white shark.
Great white shark. Yes.
Have you seen it?
No, I want to. But I have
Okay,
not,
okay.
never. I would love to. Yeah.
So dugong and shark is shark.
Great white.
Great white.
If it's great white, yes, great white. Kalau dugong dengan black tip tu, I pilih dugong lah.
Great white and seal.
Still great white.
Still great white. Great white and killer whale.
Oh, killer whale.
Killer whale.
Yeah.
Killer whale and blue whale. Oh, blue whale ni paling best punya aku. Majestic lah.
I
Majestic
dah swim
animal.
dengan blue whale.
Blue whale.
Blue whale.
Dang.
The-
I cannot pilih dua-dua. Both. Can I say both?
No.
I refuse to choose.
No. No.
Dead end to the game.
Yep.
I can't choose. I would still go with orca. No. Blue whale. No. I tak boleh pilih. Serius, sumpah.
Kalau
tak boleh.
No, you have to choose.
If she doesn't pick one, podcast takkan keluar.
Yep.
Damn it. Okay.
If you don't pick one, we will publish that ghost story.
No, go sorry. Kata ada ghost story. Now people know there's a ghost story.
Okay, tak ada.
Tipu je. Nothing to do with diving. Okay, blue whale, orca. Oh crap, orca. Killer whale lah.
Orca is another name for killer whale lah.
Yeah, which is the preferred name.
Preferred name, orca.
Yeah, because why are we calling them killer whales? They're not killing anything.
Very negative kan?
So negative.
Yeah.
Kau yang pilih nama.
Aku tak tahu, aku just
Diorang
macam
macam too bad publicity diorang lah. Killer whale je tu kan.
Macam bad rap lah.
Macam orca, cute je.
Orca dengan, this will be the last one.
Okay.
Orca dengan dolphin.
Orca still, I think. I love dolphins,
I thought
but
dolphin would be at the top.
I know, but my mad respect for orcas is probably, I'm in awe of it. I think out of all the animals, even above great whites, because orcas ni, when they plan their hunt, semua tu dia macam very meticulous tau. They're very structured.
Have you seen Planet Earth?
Oh my god, of course.
I love that show.
Kan, Blue Planet tu, you dah tengok?
I've seen everything lah.
They're
I've
so
seen
good.
all.
They're so good, mind blowing.
Yeah.
You should do something like that. If
Blue
you're
Planet.
able to do kan. I mean, tak semestinya macam in the deep waters lah.
Yeah.
Dekat the coral tepi-tepi. You can do about it.
I buat macam small time now, you know, little things. I share snippets on my stories. So trying to compile a few things and put it on my YouTube. Like,
I mean
got
if
lot
you
of
need a
footage.
team, Amma can record, I can help. Dalam air angkat barang.
Mabuk kapal tak settle.
Aku direct daripada the beach lah. Walkie talkie. One.
One tepi sikit.
Sikit one. So of all the animals that I've listed just now,
Yeah.
yang you pernah jumpa, apa yang paling best ah?
Oh my god, I guess the one that was in water, obviously the blue whale has been like my most.
Have you?
Yeah,
seen?
so I swim with blue whales in Timor. It's the first place I managed to, and then we run
Should
towards,
ride
I
the
think.
blue whale?
I tengok yang
Of course not.
I tengok
we
yang
respect the animals.
David Attenborough tu kan, macam how they circle the fish together kan, ramai-ramai. From aerial shot tau.
That must be the humpback whales, no? The
Oh,
one
yeah,
that
yeah.
were hunting humpbacks.
Humpback lah. So macam they
Yeah.
circle the school of fish.
Yeah.
So that the fish is kind of like trapped
Balled
in
up.
that current.
Whirlpool tu kan.
And then daripada bawah
buka pula.
wow.
Nyam-nyam.
Tapi kau nampak tak macam diorang pun pandai nak hunt.
Yes.
You know, they work together.
Targeted. Yeah.
Hey, just a quick question. Is
very
whale
fascinating.
laju? Are they fast?
Well, by comparison to us, yeah, because they look slow in their movements.
Tapi kau tahu tak, dia punya flipper besar.
Like a blue whale is the blue whales we get in Timor is they call the pygmy blue whales lah. Maybe about 26-28 meters long. The biggest are about 32 meters.
Holy hell.
So kalau dia flick sekali ekor, dia gerak 30 meter ke depan, you nak berenang.
Berapa pedal? Kau pun dah pancit dah kan.
Boat pun terkejar-kejar tau. So they look slow in their movement because they're just massive monsters. But technically their
They're
movement is
fast
so
lah.
efficient and fast lah. They're fast. They're super amazing. Like when I say swim with blue whales ni pun, it's more like my dip, I get a 10-15 second view and they're gone because they're so big.
Yep.
And they're like kat depan tu. And then you have to jump on the boat, kejar balik. So try balik kan. But it's a whole. Tapi yang whales yang I pernah swim yang paling chill were sperm whales. Diorang ni masa we encountered them.
Semua kepala besar.
Yang kepala square.
Kepala dia
Moby
that's
Dick
cute.
whale tu.
Jendul.
Tu, oh my god, yeah. So I counted a pod of like 17 sperm whales at one time kat Timor tu. We were like, dah lah tengah tak bawa customer ke apa. I macam, diorang lepak, diorang tidur. Dush, I terjun masuk dalam air.
Wow.
So I was like,
Time
the
tu
only
mesti macam
human.
music like in your head.
Yeah, I was like, I can die now. Yeah, like dengar dia kan. And they're like around you, and there's like these crazy massive whales just floating around. And dia datang, dia tengok, they eyeball you, they make eye contact. And macam,
Oh, you can see dia punya eyeball apa
they
semua.
can't, like these
Are they gonna
whales.
eat you?
They won't eat me, but they could cause harm if you don't know what you're doing and you're too intrusive. They can cause harm. You have to understand they're still animals.
Wild animals.
Wild animals. Tapi diorang macam humpback whales. These blue whales pun, when you're in the water, you sense macam mana, like you say, like you meet someone and you sense their presence, and that's the thing with these animals. Like people you tengok on TV, semua you're not getting it. But I think you're in your water and then they make that eye contact. You're like, there's a person in
Yeah.
there's a being in
There's a
there.
soul,
There's a soul. There's
I think
a big soul
a
in
good
that.
start for people to understand wildlife, tengoklah David Attenborough punya
Yes, all the shows.
All the shows. Really good.
Yes.
Dia pasal dia mengajar kehidupan haiwan ni and how people can actually learn from them actually, you know.
Yeah.
Macam mana burung memikat burung, you know, those things are like macam memang jadi dekat manusia.
Manusia.
I mean, it's interesting, and it's you're very, in a way, I would say, lucky
Yeah.
because
I
you're
am.
able to experience all of this.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, swimming next to a whale.
Yeah.
Betul. And that's the thing, like it's I am extremely blessed to be able to, and it's more of macam how do I know not everyone can encounter those encounters, and but that's the thing, like how do we, and that shows like Blue Planet semua tu is more towards like trying to bring that connection to
And at the
people,
end of the
and I
day,
think
the message is the same: conserve.
Yes.
Right?
And the only way to conserve is to change. Are you going to stop using plastic bottles, my friend?
I will
And
try
coffee
from
cups.
now.
Yes,
I will
thank
try
you.
my best. Okay. Let's
my
wrap up lah. Aku
Yes.
sebab aku nak terkencing.
Silakan.
I mean, I have tons of questions. but
Okay.
lah.
Offline.
Offline.
This is something that I do for every guest.
Yeah.
This question is, what would be the perfect gift for you at the moment? It could be in a form of material, anything.
No. Salah. It can be deep. It can be tak deep.
Yeah.
We had to
perfect
stop
gift,
this.
Yeah.
Deep perfect gift is that everyone around me who knows me personally, the best gift I think is to take the time to put the ocean health first. So in people's decision makings, in your daily life habits, and not to do it because of me, but it would be the greatest gift if I saw people around me just starting to shift their
Start
lives.
caring.
Start caring, showing they care, and
Yes.
not just verbalizing it and saying, oh, I love ocean animals semua tu, but understanding that their seafood purchase impacts it, their water purchases impacts it, what they use in the shower, sabun korang beli tu impacts it. So that would be like the perfect deep punya gift lah.
Okay. Let's not
Ada
talk
tak
about
deep dia?
yang tak deep.
Yeah.
Yang tak deep.
Ha.
Yang tak deep, kalau boleh main dalam air, swim semua dengan Jason Momoa, best juga. Can you make that happen?
Jason Momoa You
Terus
jadi
lagi.
Moana dululah.
Gedik-gedik.
Gedik-gedik.
Dia tengah berenang kan. Semua orang kat tepi pegang trident. Then you wanna go for a swim with me?
Fizzy, let's go.
Then,
Fizzy, let's go.
There you go. That'll be like my perfect gift for now.
Great answer. Thank you very much, Fizzy. For all yang nak belajar bukan belajar, like know more
Know
about
more.
ocean life and
Yes.
naikkan cinta
Follow her,
terhadap
follow her.
Yeah, follow her
You got
on
Instagram.
I have. You didn't
and
mention
YouTube.
I am married to the ocean. That's why people always tanya, you dah kahwin ke apa? I cakap dah.
Yes, okay.
I kahwin laut.
Ajak lagi orang ramai-ramai kahwin dengan
Tak nak. I
poligami.
personally. Boleh.
Poligami laut.
Poligami, I
Poligami
terima.
dengan laut.
Yeah. Tapi
Is
yes,
that-
I ada Instagram.
I mean,
Laut ni
I
dia bias jantina tak? Dia
tak ada.
Dia
Semua
quite
boleh
fluid,
cinta
right?
dia. Fluid. I see what you did.
I want to ask before kita end.
Okay, dah habis.
dah habis lah.
Dah habis.
Okay, tak
Dia
apalah.
ada soalan.
Dah habis.
Send me a message on Instagram.
Let's
Jay, follow me on Instagram.
Stop
Stop lah.
Okay.
Dah tak ada memberikan lah.
Kamu tahu ni